Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Go, 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 go. The Bills make me wanna. The Bills make me wanna. Just watch it happen now. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Go, 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 go.
Pizza, pizza.
The Bills make me wanna.
Woo! Let's go, baby. We are lit right now. Training camp talk. Training camp, day 5. Okay, it's actually day 6. It's a 6-day of practice, but day 5 of open camp. And there's a lot to talk about. We're going to run down through everything that happened today. There's a lot of good and a lot of not so good. Ronald, what's up, man? Shivas, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. You're my man, as always. Love you guys that are always sticking around. And I know it's not the best time during the day, 3:30. A lot of people are still at work. A lot of people still have stuff going on. It's my time. I got time right now to do this, so I want to dive in while it's all still fresh in my head. Like I said, guys, going to every single camp. So if you want live updates, Twitter, BSS_G show. Follow along. If you guys are on Facebook, give this thing a share real quick. Matthew, what's up, dude? What's up, Matt? You guys on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, all of the above. Let's dive in. It was chaos today. Absolute chaos. The first thing I want to start out with, we're going to dive into everything. Offense, defense, injury updates, what's going on at the depth chart, who's looking good at wide out, who's looking good at that opposite corner spot, what O-linemen are looking good, what O-linemen aren't looking good. Wide receiver, the big one, I already mentioned it, but the wide receiver, who's standing out, who ain't doing shit. I'm not doing shit. I'm not going to shit on anyone today, but who's not looking too good? Clarence, what's up? My man, Clarence Moyer, the third in this bitch. Let's go. Tina, hey, Tina, how we doing? Ronald, share the 6 groups, bro. Always and forever. Love you. That's how we blow up the Blindsided Squad. I need you guys. I need you guys to share. I need you guys to comment. You guys commenting. You guys make the fucking show. You guys make the show, plain and simple. So, little sketchy start here. Okay, we're going to get to training camp and how training camp looked, but we're going to start off a little sketchy here. Okay, we got Lesean McCoy, right? Nowhere to be seen at practice. I'm sitting up there, ready for practice to start. I'm looking at everyone lined up, working out, who's doing well, who's stretching, trying to get a feel for everything. No shady, right? So what do? I go on, start looking, start doing some research, and we see the shady. Some stories are coming out about how he paid off that officer, the $55K, right? He got into an altercation with a police officer, I believe it was in Philly. Paid him some dough, paid up that money, and everything, was good to go, okay? And I believe this was settled in court. So I'm not quite sure what the big deal is. the Bills came out and said that he was relieved from practice today. Dave Love, what's going on, man? He said that he was relieved from practice today, and for personal reasons. So, is it more of an issue than we think? Is it? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But what I do know is the fact that Shady being relieved for personal issues, plus the story coming out about paying off the cop after he was in an altercation, they're probably tied together, and it's not a good thing for Shady. Okay. I've talked about it a million times. I love Shady. Shady's my guy. He's been a stud for us a lot. Last year was obviously a step back for him, but he's had really, really great performances. He's a fan favorite. Okay, but when you bring in a guy like Frank Gore, and you draft somebody like Singletary, and then you bring in somebody like T.J. Yeldon, who has that experience, we have a pretty good backfield right there. Yes, Shady sets it over the top. If Shady can get back to his, his old form, then it sets that backfield over the top. We got an absolute stud with a ton of depth behind him. But the question is, do we know if Shady can get back to that form? And now that he's in his 30s, the odds are decreasing. So odds decreasing that he can get back to present or get back to his past form, which is what we're all rooting for, including myself. Plus the backfield that we have right now with Gore, Singletary, and Yeldon equals, this equation right here equals not good things for Shady. Hopefully this can get resolved. It's not that big of a deal, and we can just see how he performs in the preseason and for the rest of training camp, and it's not a major deal. But I also wouldn't be surprised if there was a move made, whether it be a trade or a cut, especially after a first preseason game. It just may be at the point now where it's not worth the headache with him. We got some comments here. Morris with his fourth concussion, Ronald. I know, man. I know. It's definitely something to be worried about. But he looked pretty positive, pretty content on the sideline. Didn't let him do that. No, I don't think it is. Tina, we still need Shady. That may very well be the case. We still may very well need Shady. Shady needs to walk softly but kill it on the field. I agree. Dermot said it was a scheduled day off, and they knew about this day. Scheduled day off. There's a lot of scheduled day offs. Jerry Hughes had a scheduled day off today. He was on the sideline in a bucket hat rooting his boys on, getting pumped up on that D. Shady was nowhere to be seen. Nickelterry, it's not a big deal. It's settled and done. That's what I'm taking from all the articles I read. I think that the altercation was more the people he was with. He was just fine because he was the guy there with the most money. That may very well be the case. Look at guys. I'm on page with all this. I'm on the same page. I'm rooting that this is nothing. This is in the dust. This day off today is not a big deal. That's what I'm shooting for. But like I said, with the backfield we have, plus the way Shady played last year, it might add up to something that we don't necessarily want to see right now. Adam, what's going on, man? I think it's time for him to go. Okay, we need to see more. We need to see him play, first of all, and we need to see if he's going to be in any more kind of, side trouble off the field. Side trouble, off the field issues, it's not worth it. It's not worth it with our backfield we have right now based on the way he played last year. Last year, if he looked like a stud, it's a whole different story. But the way he played last year, I know, with the bad offensive line, I'm well aware, everyone. I'm well aware. I love you guys, but come on. I know, it's a bad online, but he played like shit too. With the way he played last year, plus the off-field issues, if they are major off-field issues, it just might not be worth it anymore. So stay tuned. Let's all stay tuned. There's still a lot more to hear, still a lot more to do, still a lot more to see. We got to see him rest of training camp, preseason. Today was a big day. Another day of pads. First day with the referees. First day with the refs. When I saw the refs walk out, I go, woo-hoo, we're going to have some action today. Shady stays, says Alexander. It may very well be. If I had to guess, if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say I'm 70% sure Shady's going to be on our team week one of the season. But shit happens. Bean's not afraid to make moves. We know that. If Devin Singletary comes out and looks like a baller in preseason, then that percentage goes from 70% to like 48%. Okay, and Frank Gore comes out and he looks good. T.J. Yeldon comes out and he looks good. That percentage drops. When you look at the off-field issues, his production, and I don't know, it's a toss-up right now, guys. We still got more. We still got way more to go into this. Okay, let's see what tomorrow looks like. Again, I'm gonna be at practice tomorrow. I'm gonna be there before the players come out on the field. Okay, follow us on Twitter. Live updates. Shady will be number one priority. Where's Shady? What's he looking like? Pads on, pads off. What's going on? Roger says, the way that dude dances in the backfield. Matthew said, let's just hope he's back tomorrow. Absolutely. John Patrick, 90% likely. He's on the team, I believe. Yeah, I agree. It might even be a non-issue. I just wanted to get it out of the way. You know, obviously when Shady's not there, when it's a planned day off, it's something you got to talk about. But let's move on. Today was a day of defense, okay? We had a couple great days on offense. Really, really, really looked well. Moving the ball well, hitting wide receivers, gaining chemistry with Beasley, with Brown, a couple wide receivers showing out. Today was defense. And the main problem with our offense today was the O-line trouble, okay? And I hate to just pull up a picture of my boy Cody Ford here. I hate to single him out like that because he's my guy. He's our second-round pick, and we're rooting for the big time. We're rooting for him big time here. But O-line troubles was a major, major issue today. Jason says, hey, man, love the show. Do you think Morse is going to have an off year dealing with this whole concussion issue again? I'm praying that that's not the case. Good timing for that question. We're going to dive into what's going on with Morse right now. Morse is scary but hopeful. Yeah, so here's the thing. We had O-line issues, but remember, everyone, Mitch Morse was not on the field. And it is clear his importance on the field. Because with him off of there, we were a shit show. I mean, it was a disaster. Okay, and Spencer Long wasn't playing. And Spencer Long is clearly battling for that right guard spot. Is Mitch Morse going to retire? John Patrick, what? Is there news out there that I'm not knowing about? I mean, somebody hit me with some news. Believers Talk, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. John Patrick, look at. If there's some kind of breaking news or some kind of press conference that I didn't see talking about Mitch Morse, this being more than just a concussion issue and he might be out for a few days in the protocol, somebody let me know. Sean Patrick, hey bro, what do you think the record will be this year? We'll get into some guesses on that towards the end of the show. We're gonna dive into these details right now, but I'm going for 11, 12 wins. Let's go. I said it was a very mild concussion. I saw him on the sideline. Believers Talk says no breaking news. I feel like this isn't even that serious. I agree, Believers. I agree, man. That's what I'm thinking of. When I was at camp today, I'm looking at Morris on the sideline. He's doing the ladder drill. Pop, 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 pop. He looked fine. You know, obviously it wasn't pads and stuff like that, but I don't think it's anything serious. So you guys that are concerned about the concussion, obviously once you have more than 1-2 concussions in the NFL, okay, serious problems start coming. It gets to that point. But right now, I think it's just they're being safe with a veteran that they have a lot of money invested in. So I would not say let's be too scared here. But with Mitch Morse off the field, it's a little scary, guys, because that O-line today looked brutal. Okay, defense constantly in Josh Allen's face. Constantly. Ronald, it's probably not that serious. They're just being extra cautious, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I don't think so either. Give the guy a fucking couple days off here. Not a big deal at all. Not at all. Yeah, halftime he'll retire. Okay, Clarence, yeah, go to hell. I don't know if he talked about this yet, but how's Shady look? Yeah, we just talked about Shady in the off-field stuff, but he wasn't at practice today, Bub. But with the O-line, okay, we had Dawkins at left tackle. Left guard, we had Spain. Those two locking up that left side, right? Center, we had Bodine. Right guard, Feliciano. And Bodine at center with Mitch Morse out. Right guard Feliciano in there. Spencer Long's been in there too. So 2 potential non-starters. And then at right tackle, Cody Ford. Now look at a major thing that I've noticed from training camp, and I'm rooting for Cody Ford. I'm rooting for him big time. But one of the major things from camp I've noticed, and I watch it constantly because I'm almost fixated on it now, is this matchup right here. Trent Murphy has been roasting Cody Ford on the outside. I mean, roasting. And they plugged in Nseki today with the first team. They put Nseki on that right tackle, and Nseki's a big, big boy. Big, big boy. And I'm going to tell you what happened. I watched it instantly. I go, okay. I was with one of my guys. I go look at Nseki's in. They got Nseki at right tackle. Watch what happens with Trent. Let's see how it goes with Trent. Locked him up. Chewed him up. Next play, Nseki's still in there. Okay, we're watching. I'm not watching anything on the field other than Inseki and Trent Murphy because I want to see what happens compared to Cody Ford. Locked him up again. Locked him up again. Locked him up again. Murphy couldn't do anything against Inseki. And almost every time, Cody obviously gets the best of him. Sometimes he's going to win some battles, but Murphy overwhelms Cody Ford. And it's, guys, plain and simple, it's scary. It's scary. What I want, my dream O-line after watching all this camp, and I'm not saying starters, I'm not saying for the regular season, I'm saying for right now, I want to see Dawkins at tackle, Spain at left guard, Mitch Morse at center, right guard Cody Ford, and right tackle Inseki, Ty Inseki. That's what I'm shooting for. Because right now, Cody Ford doesn't look like he's got that juice on right tackle. He just doesn't look like they have it. I get it. They're playing him in there because they love him. He's a high pick. They're gonna go through the growing pains, it seems like, with him. Through training camp, through preseason, maybe through the regular season. But the difference between Cody Ford and Ty Inseki at that right tackle, it's massive. It's massive, and it's obvious. All right, we got some comments here. We got Tina Mitch is not going anywhere. It's probably not that serious. Wouldn't be surprised if Morris does not play against the Colts. But he would only play for a series if he did play, so no big deal. If Morris is not in for Carolina game, then we got problems. Absolutely. Believers talk. Totally agree. If he's not in there for that second preseason game and he's still sitting out of practice or he's even taking light practices, this is going to be more serious. But, he takes a couple days, maybe even sits out that first preseason game. Not a big deal. It's definitely something we're going to pay attention to because I think until Mitch Morse comes back, it's going to be a glaring hole. I think Long might be great signing because he's looked good as backup center. And Feliciano, yeah, and Long, he's got that durability. He can play all over the line. And don't forget, guys, look at Long was a good offensive lineman in New York. He played really, really well with the Jets. And he was playing through an injury, didn't play well when he was playing through that injury, and the Jets cut him. And the Bills must have loved him. Please, guys, don't forget about Spencer Long. The Bills must have loved him because they almost instantly after the season was over, they gave him a 3-year deal. Bang, 3-year deal. So let's not count out Spencer Long on that old line. I watched him when he was with the Redskins before he was hurt. Trent is a beast. Yeah, Trent Murphy. Yeah, he's been playing really well, especially against Cody Ford. Not so much against Inseki. Hey, Joe. All I've heard is that at least 3 times more likely to get concussed than a regular center. It's worrying and annoying. When we had Wood retire, when we had him on a long-term contract. Yeah, absolutely. Show some Buffalo love. Thanks, Believers Talk. I appreciate that, man. We got Anton. Have you talked? Oliver's a beast. Yeah, we're going to dive into Oliver. Oliver had a good day, guys. It was a little chaotic. There was a little bit of drama that went along with Oliver, but it was definitely a good day. Long was terrible at center. He had some ups and downs, but he plays good at guard. Okay, I don't think Long's a center, but he's got the durability. He can play there if need be. But it was a bad day for the offensive line, and Mitch Morse is sorely missed. Okay, let's move on to probably the MVP of the day, at least the most notable to talk about, and that's Ed Oliver. Okay, a little bit of drama, a little bit of chaos. Okay, so a couple times he got into some trouble. And what he did do was he pushed an offensive lineman straight into Josh Allen, and Josh Allen landed on his ass. Okay. Coach got pissed. Coach kind of barked at him a little bit. Ed Oliver had to run, and to be honest, he kind of looked like he was pissed off. Ed Oliver, he did like a half-assed his jog, and as he was coming back, our guy, it was quite amusing to watch. Our guy, Jerry Hughes, bucket hat. He's wearing that bucket hat and everything. He goes over there, and he's ready to bark at Ed Oliver. He was ready to bark, so he was letting him have it. But Oliver, for the most part, had a great day. Penetration up the middle, man. He was all over the place. Like going against Bodine, going against a backup center for the most part. I know Bodine has had a decent NFL career, but when you stick at Oliver in the middle, it's clear that he's going to disrupt, guys. And it was exciting to see because he was wrecking havoc today. He absolutely was. Not only was he wrecking havoc in the middle, but plays down the field. He got into trouble. He almost ran into Allen again when Allen went on a scramble, and he was 10, 15 yards down the field. Oliver's all over the place. Okay? So it has become very, very clear. Ronald, training camp live on NFL Network tomorrow. Let's go. That's awesome. I did not know that. That's cool. Your boy G-Show's going to get on there. Blindsided Sports, we're getting on NFL Network. Okay? We're going to get in there. Yeah, sorry, guys. Yeah, but anyways, NFL Network, stay tuned. We're going to be lit. But Ed Oliver had a huge day. Absolute huge day. Minus the troubles, minus the problems with Coach. Great day for Ed Oliver, and it's a great time because look, we need all the help we can get pressuring that quarterback. That's going to be the biggest part of our defense. So the fact that he was disruptive is huge. Hell yeah, Matthew. About time, Ron. Yeah. Another thing I want to dive into is a poll talk. We spit out a poll the other day. Who you think is going to be the starting corner opposite of Trey Day? And 55%. We had, I don't know, just over 200 votes. Pretty good field, just on Facebook alone. And we had over 200 votes. Like, you can see the percentages. 55% go with EJ or Kevin Johnson. 45 only go with Levi. Let's talk about this battle real quick. Levi, Leslie Frazier came out the other day and said Levi is the incumbent starter. Okay, and he's going to have to lose his job if he's not going to be the starter. And all along, this whole training camp, I've been talking about how good EJ Gaines look. And really, Kevin Johnson has looked really good too. But the thing is our defense is so good, and that D-line is so much more improved, and our linebackers are so good at coverage. They're fast. Tremaine is all over the damn field. So is Matt Milano. That no matter who you plug in that spot, until we're full go, until we're full gameplay, they're going to look pretty good. What we do know is that we had Levi Wallace in that spot from week 10 to week 17 last year. And how did he play? Pro Football Focus had him ranked number 3 cornerback in the NFL. Okay, there's usually 2 to 3 starters on each team. Okay, we're talking 65 cornerbacks out of 64 cornerbacks, 64 to 70 cornerbacks that get a ton of playing time. In that 7-week period, that 8-week period, they had Levi Wallace rated number 3, better than Tre'Davious. Okay, so with that being said, right now, Leslie Frazier made it very clear, and it's clear at training camp, that Levi Wallace is the guy, and he's going to probably be the guy. Unless he goes down or he starts looking terrible, which he hasn't, it's probably going to be Levi. EJ gets in there with the starters. Even Kevin Johnson's gotten some snaps with the starters, but it's clear that it's Levi's job to lose. It's clear. Great show. Justin, I appreciate it. All you guys. I've had so many people commenting and shooting us messages saying, hey, appreciate the show. Hey, love the show, man. You know, awesome work. Keep it up. I love that shit, guys. Keep that shit up. I love that shit. Because I do this because I'm a Bills fan just like you guys. I like to give you guys news because I'm, in the area and I follow pretty close. So anything I could spit out to you guys, I'm going to always try to. And you guys commenting on these videos, you guys make the show. So I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Truly appreciate it. Feliciano or Long at center. Today, Bodine was the guy. John Patrick Levi. Yeah, Levi's going to be the guy. I feel strongly about that. Gore Singletary yelled in our end, says Jimmy Ray. Marcus Murphy will be in the picture if Shady isn't. Yeah, I agree with that. I could see that. But we got to see about Shady. We don't know about Shady. We have no idea yet. Let's hope that Shady's in practice tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, regardless of the trouble that he gets in, we want him there to at least be able to perform and play well. So let's keep it there. But yeah, Levi's absolutely the guy. He's played well at camp. So is EJ. So is Kevin Johnson. I think you could plug a lot of guys like one spot here, one spot there. Like even if Lorenzo goes down, we got to get Deion Lacey or Stanford in there. They're gonna play well. Micah Hyde went down. I believe Micah Hyde had an injury today. Because he was playing, everything was fine. He was returning punts, running drills and whatnot. And then he went and saw the trainer for a little bit. And next thing you know, he's on the sideline with no helmet, not even helmet in hand. So it was clear that he might have tweaked something. Something was going on. Kurt Coleman, Panther safety, we just signed, a week or two ago. Threw him right in with the ones. Played well, running all over the field. Making tackles, making plays. Where he needs to be, looked like he was where he needs to be. Kirk Coleman played well. That's what I'm talking about. Our defense is so good that if we get into a spot, even in the regular season, where a man goes down, next man up, he's going to be able to fill that hole because the unit is so good itself, and Frazier runs that tight shit, man. That defense is going to be stout. We just got to keep worrying about that offense. But did I expect Sills to be better? Sills hasn't really – we're going to get into the wide receivers. Sills hasn't really had too much of an opportunity yet. He really hasn't had too much of an opportunity. he gets a little separation. He's got a nice frame. He's tall. He's kind of lanky. He's a little skinny, a little wiry. We'll get into Sills. We're gonna get into the wide receivers here in not too long. Matt, I like both sides. Getting some wins, team after all. Can't wait for preseason. So our D&O beat on somebody else. Yeah, that's a big thing. Especially we're gonna go to Carolina. We're going to Carolina, and it's gonna be chaos. And it's gonna be nice for the guys to be able to beat up on another team rather than themselves. And I like that too. That's another thing that I've been thinking about myself, Matt. That's a great point. That it's like kind of like a roller coaster. Offense wins some, defense wins some. And really, what I was rooting for is the offense to win more because of the fact that we know how good our defense is going to be. It might not be as good as last year. There might be some changes. There's going to be film on our defense, and teams might change up their strategy against us based on our strengths. But we know that it's going to be there. Our defense is going to be there. They're going to make plays. They're going to get stops when they have to. They're going to be better in the red zone, et cetera, and so on and so forth. So I was hoping for the offense to have more wins than the defense at training camp, and it looked like that was turning into the case the last few days. But then today, with the defense putting on that strong performance, it was good for the D, bad for the offense. I like the offense winning, but with Mitch Morse being out, with Cody Ford having his struggles at right time, it makes sense. Mitch Morse is a big deal, guys. Plain and simple. He's a humongous deal. I think it's never been more apparent than it is today. And the way the Bills played today without Mitch Morse is a clear-cut telltale sign of why we paid him as much as we did and why it wasn't. It was definitely a good move. Love this. Thank you for the great job, John. You're the man. Appreciate that, dude. You have no idea how much I appreciate when you guys say shit like that. Yeah, all tight ends out. Yeah, that's another thing. No, not a lot of drops today. There was a couple. Foster had one. Oh, dude, we're gonna dive into Foster, but yeah, tight ends. Tight ends is a major issue. With Knox out, Kroom's obviously out. We got Tommy Sweeney in there. Who he's played all right. And Lee Smith, but Lee Smith, he's not. We need some youth at tight end. We need some speed. We need a offensive threat. Lee Smith is there to block. He's there for the experience. He's not there to make plays. Let's be honest here. Foster has a bunch of drops this training camp so far. Believers talk. Yeah, man. I know. It's scary. Foster in general. Before we talk about Foster, though, I want to talk about somebody that's shining on offense. There's a couple guys that have played well. We're going to talk about everyone, but the main guy I've seen shine so far this year is Ray McLeod. I've been to every camp, guys. Every single practice. And Ray I'm like, that first couple days, I'm like, whoa, hey, Ray looks really good. That's a little weird. Huh, he's looking just as good as some of these starting guys. Maybe not as good as John Brown, but right there with everyone else. And then as the days go on, I'm waiting for him to dissipate a little bit. I'm waiting for him to drop off, and he just keeps making plays. He keeps, when they're doing one-on-one drills with the DBs, he looks great. He's getting great separation. He's running great routes. He's consistently getting open when he's on the field in 11-on-11 drills. I'm always keeping my eye on him because it's Ray McLeod. He was so, I hate to say this, I'm a big fan, but and I loved him at Clemson. He was a great player, but he was so average last year. He dropped the punts. He kind of he was a little bit of a headache, and I keep waiting for him to fall off a little bit. Obviously rooting for the guy, but he doesn't. He's not falling off. It seems to me that these wide receivers, man, we got so many. We got like 10, 11 wide receivers right now. It's such a tight competition, and Ray McLeod just he was towards 8, 9 probably out of that competition. He keeps getting bumped up. He's probably right around 4 or 5 right now. It's strange. It's strange to me. But it's clear that Ray McLeod, he put in that work in the offseason. He put in that work. He's a different player this year. He's crisp. He's smooth. He's agile. He's getting separation. He's running great routes. All the above. I can't say enough about McLeod. Can't say enough. When's the final preseason game? I can't say. I would say probably the last week in August. I seen you at camp. Salute to the show. Tyrone, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Next time, give me a holler, man. Say what's up. I love talking any Bills fans. How's Beasley look? Wesley, what's up, man? Beasley's look good. He's looked really good. Consistently, especially when they do the one-on-one drills. I love those one-on-one drills where it's just Allen in the middle of the field, and it's a wide receiver matched up against a DB, And it's like, okay, there's a coach running between between Allen and the wide receiver. Tells him the route to run, then he runs Allen. He goes, okay, here's the route they're going to run. And that's it. And then they do the route. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get the better? And some of the wide receivers are shining. And Cole Beasley is one of those guys. A lot of DBs shine too, Like Sills in this drill, Sills kind of gets shut down a little bit. Duke Johnson's not using his body like I thought he would. You see this one-on-one drill, and you go, okay, this is where Duke's going to shine. It's one-on-one. This is where Duke's going to use that body and bring that catch in. And he just hasn't had it there. How about Duke Williams? There you go. How was Beasley looking at camp? Beasley had that one big day, and other than that, he hasn't really flashed. But I think he's just going to be consistently, they might be just looking elsewhere. I think Beasley's going to consistently get open. He's going to consistently be that safety blanket. He's open all the time. He's constantly open. Hopefully Ray worked the bugs out. It's looking like he did. The problem is, we're going to get into it. The problem is that everybody's so short. I wish Rayway was like 6 foot. Because we already got John Brown. We already got Cole Beasley. We can't have, just like McDermott said, we have Smurfs. We got a bunch of Smurfs at wide receiver. It's so true. And look at McDermott even mentioned Ray this morning. Foster's the only proven wide receiver with Allen. Why the disrespect from the coaches camp? Dude, Jimmy Ray, I'm going to tell you, man. I'm going to tell you right now. The reason that Robert Foster is getting the disrespect is because of the signs. They're signs. He's looking lethargic, okay? He warms up slow. He trains slow. He's always by himself. He's never with a group of guys. He's never shooting the shit. He's never like dancing with the guys, getting lit up. He's always he keeps to himself. I don't know. He hasn't flashed. When he flashes, he goes deep. That's when he flashes. He goes deep. What we needed Robert Foster to do this year was we needed him to make that step. We needed Robert to go from the guy that can just flash deep to somebody that can run a slant, somebody that can run a flat route, somebody that can run an out route. We needed that route wheel to open up. And unfortunately, Robert hasn't done that. Okay, every time I talk shit about Foster, I get thumbs down, people get pissed off. I wanted Foster more than anyone to blow this route up, to blow his wheel up, and to become as close to, or if not as close to, a number one wide receiver. And it is clear that to date, he's not showing that he's got that capability. And it sucks. It really sucks. He's had some drops. And more than the drops, I've been saying it since day one of camp. I'm like, man, and I'm rooting for him. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm rooting for Robert Foster. But since day one of camp, I'm like, what the fuck's going on with Foster? Why does he look so sad? Why does he look so lethargic? It sucks, guys. Look at it. It sucks. But to be honest with you, right now, Foster's still in there with the ones. He's getting, the depth chart is John Brown, Cole's up there, Zay's up there, Robert's it's still those guys. But Ray McLeod has probably looked better. Andre Roberts has probably looked a little bit better. There's a couple guys that have, in my opinion, have made that leap to over Robert Foster. It sucks. And I'm not a coach, okay? I'm a high football IQ guy, just the eye test. A Bills fan that's paid close attention to the game for 20 years. It looks like Robert Foster's getting leaped at training camp. The problem is when it's game time, he turns it on. I think he's not a practice player. I think he doesn't really buy into McDermott's thing, play hard, go hard all the time, blah, blah, blah. I think when it's game time, the bright lights are on, Foster turns up. But at training camp, it's not impressive, guys. It's not impressive. I got to get to these comments. Believer, so I was thinking this. We had to drop Foggy to bring in another tight end. Now that Asiata retires, doesn't that open up a roster spot? Will we bring Foggy back? I don't know. There's so many. With 90 guys on the team right now, man, it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that spot. The fact of the matter is that they have 37 cuts to make. So to talk about what they're going to do with that 90th spot, I don't know. I got no idea. I got no clue. I was thinking the same thing, Joe. Foster needs a game. Yeah, Foster does need a game. Let's get him in a preseason game and see him make a big play. Maybe, maybe he'll shut everyone up. That's how I like to see Souls put some weight on. Because he's a tall receiver, Souls. Oh, you meant Sills, right? Yeah, me too. And I think that Sills is a work in progress. Didn't do it last year either, if that makes it any better. Yeah. Well, the thing with last year with Foster is he needed a fucking reality check. Last year, he was doing the same shit. He didn't seem motivated, and he said it. After he blew up last year, he was like, okay, I needed to get cut to get that extra motivation. So he clearly, being in the NFL isn't enough motivation for Foster. Somebody, do I have to say that again? Am I in shock? Am I the only one in shock? Being in the NFL isn't enough motivation for Foster. He had to be cut last year to get that motivation. Has he slid back into that spot? It seems that way. I wish I could video practice. I wish I could throw a video up so you guys could see what I'm talking about. I don't know, guys. I'm not real excited about Foster this year. Unfortunately, I'm not. Thanks, bro, for the information. Great show. Wesley, you my guy. I appreciate that, man. Jimmy says Zay is faster, stronger, much better hands. I don't know if he's faster. If he is faster, he doesn't have the separation skills that Foster has, because once Foster gets down the field, even on that jet straight line, there's no one on the Bills that could do that, except now that we have John Brown. He's the only one. And John Brown has shown that he is very capable of hitting that deep ball and getting that separation. That's been the biggest thing with camp with these wide receivers is who can get that separation. And there's some guys that can, some guys that can't. Let's go into it here. I got them up right here. Yeah. Sorry. I thought we had a comment there. Cole. What we do? Shady will have to get him straight. Shady's got to get himself straight, man. Shady's got to get his own shit straight. I mean, the only wide receiver, there's not really a leader in the wide receiver room right now. It sucks. It sucks. This is what happens when you don't have that number one guy. We got a bunch of 2s and 3s. But it could work. The Patriots make it work. The Bills could make it work. Fuck them. Cole Beasley. Okay, I think they keep 5 wide receivers. They were talking to Bean, and he was talking about cuts. Somebody asked him about cuts. And he was quoted saying, okay, well, you know, he was talking about how he's been thinking about it since June. And he was like, well, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to keep 5 wide receivers. So they're probably going to keep right around 5, maybe 6. You know, if you keep a guy on there like Andre Roberts, if he makes the cut. So say we keep 5, okay? We got Cole. We know Cole's not going anywhere. We know John Brown's not going anywhere. We know Zay Jones isn't going anywhere. We know that, okay? And 5 days ago, I would say we know that Robert Foster is not going anywhere. But that might not be the case. I'm going to say right now, Cole, John Brown, Zay are locks, okay? Andre Roberts, I think, is a lock. Not only because of his return skill, and we saw what the hell he did to us last year when we played the Jets. He literally beat us, and we needed help on special teams. We need a return guy like Andre Roberts. I think he's a lock, okay? We're all hoping Foster gets that wake-up call, Matt. Yeah. What's it going to take? You know, maybe McDermott's got to call him out in a presser a little bit harder, but I don't know what it's going to take. But I think Andre's at 4. And then let's say we keep 6, because we'll say Andre's the 6th guy because of special teams. So we got to pick 2 wide receivers between Duke, Sills, Cam Phillips, Isaiah McKenzie, Ray McLeod, Easley, and Bolden. Between those 7 guys, we got to pick 2, okay? I love you, Bolden, but you're done. Oops, sorry. I did not mean to do that. Fuck you, Bolden. No, I'm just kidding. Bolden, you're gone, right? Easley's probably gone, even though Easley was looking good today. Making some cuts, making some people fall. He was looking really good. But he's probably not going to make the team. So we got 2 spots between 5 guys, and that's Williams, Sills, Cam, Isaiah, and Ray. Look at. Oh, and Robert. I'm sorry, I didn't include Robert in that. So the 2 spots. That's crazy. Sills and Duke Williams aren't going to make the team. Hopefully I know Sills is practice squad eligible, and they'll probably put him there, but he may very well get taken. But Sills is not going to make this team. Duke Williams isn't either. Duke Williams is not going to make the team. So it's Cam, Isaiah, Ray, and Robert. That's insane because you're not going to keep Cam Phillips even though he's made some great plays in preseason. He hasn't been relevant enough. So you got to keep 2 out of the 3 between Robert, Ray, and Isaiah. And Isaiah's made some plays, man. Isaiah has made some fucking plays. And Ray's look good. I would say Ray right now is a lock to make the team. Probably not, realistically, with the coaching staff. You know, Robert Foster showed that he could be a big-time player in the NFL last year. He showed those flashes. So Robert's going to make it, and Ray Ray's going to make it. Isaiah's going to get cut. Isaiah's going to be that guy that's on that bubble that gets cut. It'll actually be between McKenzie and Andre Roberts, and the fact that Roberts is such a great return guy. He's going to make it over McKenzie. But, man, McKenzie's made some plays. This is what the problem is, man. Robert Foster needs to get his shit together. He needs to get that motivation going because, man, you got to cut a guy like Isaiah McKenzie. You got to cut a guy like, even like Cam Phillips, who's been here for a couple years, and he's out there making plays. And if Ray McLeod gets cut, he's not. I don't think he's going to. I think he's shown that he's playing so well. He's playing so well at training camp against even the ones, but mostly the twos. He's not going to get cut. I don't think. But Foster needs to get his shit together. Look at this depth we have at wide receiver and running back. Haven't seen this in years. This is a good problem. Yeah, it is. There's going to be a couple guys that get cut that's going to hurt for everyone. Best things to take away from offense today. John Patrick, that's few and far between, Bubba. Start of practice was okay. Allen made some throws. I'm trying to think. The run game didn't even look good. When they were doing the one-on-one drills with the cornerbacks versus the DB or versus the wide receivers, on the other side of the field, they were doing O-line and quarterback and fullback, whatever the offensive lineup was, whatever the set was, the formation, versus the D-line and the linebackers. I mean, it's like, okay, we're running the ball. We're going to try to run the ball down your fucking throat. Here, defense, you know what we're doing. Stop us. That's what it was. Because the defense, like the second team and the third team defense, were behind the end zone, hyping them up. If they made a stop, everybody got lit on defense. And I'll tell you what, that defense was fucking celebrating. The defense roasted the offense in that run game drill. But Singletary had a couple nice runs, and that's the case every single day at training camp. Not much of a running game, but Singletary had a few really nice plays. That seems to be the reoccurring thing here. And Shady hasn't really been too involved in these types of drills, but even when he has, he hasn't really stuck out too much. The guy that does is Singletary. I hate to say it. And I don't hate to say it because I'm rooting for him because he's our draft pick. I want him to be great. But if I had to say what was the best thing from offense today, John Brown got Tre'Davious rattled in that drill. Singletary continues to look pretty good. And that's pretty much it, guys. There was not a lot good going on the offense today. Just got tweet Surly's got released. Injury issues. Yeah, I figured that was happening. That sucks because Searles seems like a good dude. Yep, just announced that. It's all good, bro. At least we're on the same page. Now that makes 2 free spots on the 90-man roster. Watching everything all the time. Good shit, guys. I love the updates. Keep me posted. Would Foster be a trade chip in your opinion? Yeah, but I don't think you can get the value for Foster right now that you could potentially get out of him if he stays on the team and continues to develop. So it might not be worth to trade him, even if they don't want him. Man, that would be crazy. If somebody was in love with Foster, great. Maybe that's the case. Maybe some teams fell in love with Foster with just watching his game film because that's what he is. He's a gamer. He could play. We know that. When the game comes on, the lights come on, Foster could make some big plays, but he's got to be able to get there. He's got to be able to get there during practice, I think, because, I mean, he seems to be not a cancer, but, it doesn't help. It hurts the locker room. He's hurtful in the locker room. He looks lazy out there, to be honest with you. So that's pretty much what happened at camp today, guys. A lot of defense showing out, a couple picks, a big play. See, this was one of the most frustrating parts today was the 11-on-11s clearly weren't going well for the offense, right? Clearly not going well. So they stuck around. They kept it going. And they had the refs there. It was like, practice seemed like it was wrapping up, and they were doing more 11-on-11. We're like, the coaches were like, we're not going out on a bad note here. We're not going out on a bad note, right? So the 11-on-11, ones versus ones. Everybody's watching. All the offense is on the sideline. Defense is on the sideline. Everybody's watching. Most of the fans are still there. First play, Allen steps back. We're going, okay, let's get this thing going here. Let's turn this thing around. Let's end practice on a good note. He takes 3 steps back, throws a pass. Looks like it's going to be a bullet. Tipped in the air, I think by Oliver. I think Oliver tipped it. I could be wrong on that. It might have been Jordan. No, it wasn't Jordan Phillips, because then Jordan Phillips caught it midair, pick six. Pick six, guys. That's how the we're gonna do one more 11 on 11. Let's turn this bitch around. That's how that first play went. It was frustrating. Okay, line right back up. Run it again. You could tell that McDermott was pissed, even though he likes when the defense plays well. He's a defensive guy in general, so he likes when that D plays well. But run it again. Let's go. Right? Next play, Allen takes a snap, drops back, sack. Instant sack. Instant. That D-line was wrecking havoc, and that Oliver's a big reason why, along with Trent Murphy. And Mike Love was opposite, filling in for Jerry Hughes, and he was still looking good. So Mike Love looking good is, I don't know, it's not a good sign. With these O-line injuries, thankful we have a solid depth. Searles, Morris, Long. Searles is gone, my man. I have not heard anything on the episode, but good job. Thanks, Shivas, you the man. I appreciate it, man. Star got the tip. Yes, that is absolutely right, Matt. Yep, now that you say that, I can remember that. Star did get the tip. He's dirt cheap. He may get value. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think, like I said, guys, I don't think you're going to get any value out of a Foster trade. Not as much value as you could get out of him staying and developing. God damn it, we just need to see him start developing. Our defense is pretty good, so I expect our defense to dominate our lackluster offense, honestly. Josh, I understand what you're saying, but we can't have a lackluster offense anymore. If we have a lackluster offense this year, we're not going to be good. We're going to go 8-8, 7-9. It's not. This is year 3 of the process. This is that year that you take that big step and, you get to 10 wins and maybe make the playoffs or just barely miss it. Or you get 11, 12 wins, you kind of blow up a little bit. This is the year. We can't have a lackluster offense. Jerv in the house, what's up, man? John, so what was the defensive best day? Yeah, it was by far the defense's best day. And mind you, that probably has a lot to do with the fact that we had no Mitch Morse and some offensive shifts, a lot of plug-ins, and kind of experimenting on the offensive line. But at Oliver, also first team reps pretty much all day today, wrecking havoc. He looked good. A couple plays, he'd get double teamed and it wouldn't go so well. But now that Ed Oliver has those pads on and he gets to use a little bit more momentum, he gets to use a little bit more leverage. And guys are slowing down a little bit because they're not just in shorts and a t-shirt. At Oliver shining, guys. And he's been kind of irrelevant. Since training camp started, I was a little nervous. But that is no longer the case. I'm excited to see I want to see him keep building on it. I want to see Ed Oliver keep going on it. So, tomorrow, stay tuned. BSS_G show. We're going to keep this thing going. I'm going to be tweeting live updates. You guys on Facebook, make sure you give this thing a share, like the page. Twitter guys, like it, follow along. YouTube, subscribe. Let's go, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Bills have announced they've released Searles. Yeah, we just heard that. Hopefully we get to watch the 11 on 11 tomorrow on NFL Network. I hope you guys don't, so I can be the reason you get the updates. I'm just kidding. For a positive note, our D is rocking its practice. That's why they need to watch tape and learn. So Kyle Williams is helping Ed a lot. I don't know if it's necessarily Kyle Williams. I think it's more so, he's pumped up. He's ready to go. He's probably pretty pissed that he was with the second string. I think he's ready to get in there and start wrecking havoc, and he's done just that. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to be back tomorrow for a wrap-up show. These live shows have gone so well. You guys are killing it. A bunch of you guys are tuning in, commenting and shit. So I think I'll probably do another live show tomorrow. Stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter for live updates. A couple things we're going to be looking for tomorrow. At Oliver, that wide receiver spot, Foster. What's Foster going to do tomorrow? Is Shady going to be back? Is Mitch Morse going to be back at practice, even on a light scale, but maybe a little bit more active? There's a lot to look forward to. Ray McLeod, look at guys. Call it right now. G-Show's on that Ray McLeod bandwagon. I know it's not a popular one right now, but I'm on it. So, lots to look forward to. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Let's go Bills.